I think it's important to start out, we, our Century 1 Baggage Enterprises are a part of Century 21, which is an important distinction to make on the presentation when you're talking to buyers and sellers. And the leadership at Century 21 has redefined what they want us to be as a real estate company. And part of that is turning it from a transactional experience to an experiential experience, right? Because real estate is so simple. You find a buyer, you find a seller, you put them together, and then they do all this crap that just drives them crazy, like applying for a loan and trying to find tax returns from years ago and sitting on hold with Verizon forever and all the crap that goes into the move that really makes it a horrible experience. So Century 21 has teamed up with a company called MoveEasy, and they're calling it the Century 21 Concierge. And they launched this a while back, and we didn't pay attention very well because there's a trigger that has to happen for it to go. So I think, Travis, let's talk about what's the end result after today. Today's like a training class on what you guys are going to do with our customers. But what do we have to do? We have to take a course, right?
So what we're going to do today is I'm going to walk everyone through the product and show them what their clients are going to see, right? So the front facing piece of this. After that, because it has been a while since you guys signed up, there's been a lot of changes that have happened with the platform. Matter of fact, you guys are going to see the brand new platform that's launching in less than 2 weeks. So you're one of the first companies that is actually going to see the new user interface. After that, it really makes a lot of sense to hold at least one more training. In a company your size, I'd say I'd recommend a couple more because you may not get everyone at the same time come in, all your agents. You have a lot of agents. But we have an onboarding team that's going to walk your agents how to utilize the system on the back end and you as a company as well. So you have a different platform than what your clients see. So it's important for your agents to know how to invite clients on the fly, buyers or sellers, how to add vendors into the system. And it's incredibly easy. It's literally a 5 or 6 step process. But if they don't know how to do it, if they're not shown how to do it, they're not going to do it. So it's important just for you guys to know exactly how the platform works, how we invite your clients in. The agents always get a heads up before we invite the clients as well. So we send an email to the agents, and I'm going to walk your agents through that, what it looks like. But we let them know that we're going to invite them in, their clients into the system, and we give them the ability to disable that invite if they want to. So if they say, hey, look, this is a client that was difficult, it's a parcel of land, it's commercial property, it doesn't need this service, they can turn it off at any time and we'll never contact that client. So your agents, even though this is a fully automated system, have a lot of control. And that's kind of the good or a bad, right? The fact that it's fully automated means they can go do their listings and their sellings and they can make money and do what they want to do. And they don't have to touch us if they don't want to. That's a good part. The bad part is that because it's fully automated, they don't have to pay attention to, which means sometimes they forget it's even out there. And then it's just one of those things they're not really aware of what's or who's contacting their clients. So that's why the training is really important, to make sure that everyone understands how the platform works, what it is that we do, what kind of controls you have as a company, as agents. And that's what I'd like to accomplish today. And then the secondary part will come with our onboarding team and the customer success managers that'll stay with you after the program.
Perfect. So you are co-hosting, so you've got screen share rights and you can run with it.
It looks like I do. Yeah, I do. All right. So just so I know, Craig, before we start, do you guys have an in-house, say, mortgage or title company, any kind of partnerships like that, the JVs, yes. MSAs? Okay. So just want to make sure that when I'm talking about it, I can reference that specifically for you. And today's audience is agents, managers, corporate team, right? Like, so your staff there, right? Pretty much everyone you got, right?
Well, there's only 65 of us on right now.
Okay.
A typical day is 80 to 100. So
okay. All right.
I did send an announcement that you were coming on today. So maybe they're picking and choosing, or maybe they're signing on late, but we also broadcast live on YouTube.
Oh, fantastic.
And on Facebook. So people watch it that way throughout the day.
Great.
And then every class is recorded on a Beggins Agents website.
Okay. And then just one more question before I get started. If they have questions or anyone has questions they want to ask, is that going to pop up? Will I see it, or is everyone else on mute right now?
Well, we're doing a webinar, not a Zoom meeting.
Okay.
So
okay.
You have a chat and a Q&A, and they'll both light up if there's a question that pops up.
Great. Great. All right. I will do my best to work through the presentation and the chat when it comes up. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen right now and show you guys what I'm talking about. So let me move us over here. So Craig, thanks for the introduction. Guys, my name is Travis Bailey. I am the VP of partnerships over at MoveEasy, and we're super proud to be the company that powers Century 21 Home Concierge. What Home Concierge is?
Hey, Travis, real quick, is this a Century 21 product, or is this Coldwell Banker have it too? And
this is Century 21. So if other companies do reach out to us, we will work with them, but we are the exclusive provider of this for Century 21. So we do not have a corporate relationship with any of the other Realogy brands.
wow,
Yeah.
that's
So,
a good thing for us to know when we're talking.
yeah,
It's another feather in our cap.
it is a big point of differentiation for you in your marketplace. This is a relatively young industry. We are probably one of the oldest and most established companies in this industry. It's probably only about around give or take 7 or 8 years old, this industry, and we're about 7 years old ourselves. But it is a very hot growing industry. There's a lot of companies trying to jump into this right now, and they're trying to get to where we already are, and we've been established in this kind of position for a very long time. And I think you're going to see that's what makes us so different and why Century 21 selected us to be the company that powers Home Concierge. First of all, I just want to start by saying we are going through our SOC 2 compliance right now, which is one of the highest security ratings you can receive, which is important for you and for your agents because it means that we never sell your client data. So your customers will never get an unsolicited email or an unsolicited phone call from any vendor that's on our system or platform. So we never share that data. We never market out that data. We are all about the client experience, making sure that your clients have a fantastic experience through that move process, because most of us know the move process is historically listed as one of the top 10 most stressful things you can do besides, getting a new job, speaking in public. Moving is right there. The destination is always a great thing, right? You always want to end up at that new house, and that's exciting, but everything that goes along with it is really stressful. So we're here to help your clients and help your agents take that off your agent's plate. Let us take care of all that for them and let your agents do what they do best, which is list and sell. Now, it is completely white gloved, so you will not see the name MoveEasy anywhere on the platform. Now, I'm assuming, Craig, that you guys are going to rename this and not keep it as Century 21 Home Concierge, but rename it Century 21 Beggins Concierge, whatever it is that you want to name it. You have the ability to change that naming platform, and it makes a lot of sense to do that, and I'll explain why when we get to the avenues that your clients can interact with our platform. It is also fully turnkey, which means when this system goes live, it is fully automated. We're integrated with Dash and most every other top technology tool in the system. So we're able to pull your client information, your roster information, your agent headshots, all from Dash and those other systems. So it's going to work every night. It's going to pull that client data when it hits a certain trigger point. We're going to send the invite out to your agent. Then the invite will go out to the client 48 hours later, and the process is up and running. It's really just important to make sure that all the agents are aware of what it is that we do, what the services are, what it's going to look like for your clients, so that they're familiar with it. But your clients.
So let me just jump in, because no discount to our agents. They're busy, and I get it, but they're going to get an email, and if they don't reply in the negative that email, we're going to launch.
That's correct.
So it's your fault. If you don't want it to go, you're going to have 48 hours to disconnect. But if you don't, that's not a penalty. It's just the way it is. So there is that's your responsibility.
Yeah. So it's like I said, your agents do have control of this. We want to make sure when our team is working with you that our emails don't go to a spam folder. So we'll show you to make sure how our emails don't get blocked. So your agents and the company always gets the emails that we send out, so they're aware of everything that we're doing. So we can walk through with that process. But keep in mind, even if it's after that 48 hours, your agents can always go back to that email. It could be a week later. Maybe their client says, hey, I don't know what this is. I don't need this service. And they can click that disable invite, and our company will stop contacting them from that point forward. We do have a very simple cadence. We do not bombard your clients with emails or phone calls. We have a specific cadence. We reach out to them within that 48 hours. Phone call and email. We reach out to them a couple days later if we haven't heard from them, a couple days after that. And then afterwards, we send an email back to the agent saying, hey, we tried to contact your client. They haven't reached out. They can always access the platform. And we send that email to the client as well, saying, we've tried to reach you. We haven't had success. You still have access to the program. You can activate it or call your concierge at any time. best of luck with the move. We're here for you if you need us, but good luck with everything going forward. So we are not very aggressive with it. We want to make sure that this is a value add for your clients and for your agents. But your clients are going to be able to access everything through our system. And we are not a dealer, right? I mean, we're not a lead partner. We are actually an authorized tier 1 dealer with every vendor you see in our system, which means that your clients never leave our site. They can complete all these transactions right either on the online portal or talking to their dedicated concierge. So they can get mortgage, title, home insurance, home warranty, home inspections, auto insurance. We can change their utilities. We're partnering with every single internet and TV cable provider in the country. Home security, solar, car shipping, driver's license, registration, changing their address, all the moving companies, self-storage, car shipping. They can do all this through our site and more. And then when you hand off the keys to that client, a lot of times that relationship ends. And that's what we're here for as well, to make sure we create that stickiness between the client and the agent ongoing, because this platform continues to work well past the end of the move. This is really what we consider a lifetime consumer engagement platform. So if your clients need access to any of our trusted service providers or your trusted service providers, either during the move or 6 years down the road, they can access them. We have over 150 different categories here that I'll show you and walk you through. So they have the access to do all these things, and you're going to see how that's going to create that stickiness between you and the client going forward. Now, because we never sell the client data, we do give the client access to our platform in a variety of ways. So every agent and every client is going to get a branded online portal. Every agent and every client is going to get a branded mobile app. Every client is going to be able to access our platform, which is going to be the Century 21 Beggins Concierge platform, via Alexa and Google Home. And then
Wow.
every single client of yours gets an individual dedicated personal assistant. And what that means is when that transaction is grabbed out of your system, it's going to take that client and it's going to immediately pair that client with someone on our concierge team. And that means every time your client, that individual client, calls in and say Susan is their dedicated concierge, they don't go into a massive call center. They don't go into a big queue and whoever answers first. Your client, when they email, when they call, when they text, they talk to Susan every time. So they have one person working with them through the lifetime of their access to this system. And that could be through the whole move process, or 5 years down the line, they still talk to that one individual person. Now, we also send out branded emails. If you could see here, that would be your logo. That's the agent headshot and the agent contact information. These are basically emails that go out at the broker cadence. So Craig, you and Angelique would say, hey, we want to send emails once a quarter to all of our past clients, or once every 6 months, or once a month. And we will send out emails on your behalf that basically is a drip campaign. They're not salesy. It'll be things like, hey, it's that time of year to turn back the clocks and change the batteries in your smoke alarms, or it's a good time of the year to get your gutters cleaned, spring cleanup. Here are 3 local landscapers that you might want to reach out to. So things like that. Now, no one else in the industry, like I said, this is a young industry. No one else does these things. No one else has a personal assistant. No one else has a skill with Alexa and Google Home. There are other companies that have apps. There's other companies that have kind of online portals, but no one else does what we're able to do. And a big difference is, like I said, we never sell your client data. Everyone else uses third parties. They sell your client data. Your clients will never receive an unsolicited email or phone call from our platform. And because we don't do that, they have to initiate the services and things they do online. So I'm going to walk you through that as well. Now, we're integrated with most all the top technology tools. Most of the time, we're working with the Century 21 Dash. Is going to be the most intuitive product for us to use. But if you said, hey, we want to use Moxie, or we have one of these transaction management tools, anything that you feel where the data may come in faster or better than you put through Dash, we can simply just get the API key for you and start working with them immediately. So we have integrations with all these companies already. Now, this is a screenshot of one of our current clients. Craig, I'm sure you guys, the guys over at Redwood over in Virginia, right?
I do.
So this is an example of what the existing platform looks like. Now, what I'm going to show you guys, and what you guys are going to get when you launch, is a lot more intuitive, a lot more user-friendly than what you're seeing here. And people love this platform. So this is a representation of an individual page. So if you click mortgage, Craig, this would be your mortgage company logo. The guys from Redwood wrote all the content here, the content here. So we're able to promote their more in-house mortgage company. Same thing with their title company, Highland Title. It's their logo. They put all the copy in here. The forms, the get ready, the get started fields. That's all things I'll be able to show you on a new platform. But this just goes to show you that we're
Can we
able to-
give them more than one choice?
Yes, you can. Yeah. And if you have multiple offices and say offices 1 and 2 use day 1 mortgage and offices 3 or 4 uses day 2 mortgage, our system can determine based on office location and your areas, what vendors to assign to each one. So it will show up specifically based on where that transaction is pulling from. So very intuitive, very smart for the system. It really can do a lot of things that you're going to see. Now, this is those 150 different categories that I talked about as far as the trusted service providers. This is really important because first, we have a national relationship with HomeAdvisor and Angie's List. However, all of these categories can be populated by either you, the broker, or the individual agents. So if you're looking here, this is an individual agent page. This is Kathy Allen's page. Now, Kathy actually is our VP of Customer Success. But if she decided to put in certain vendors in these categories, only Kathy's clients will see those vendors. Now, Craig, if this was your page, your clients would see your specific vendors. So it is individual per agent. So every agent that has a list of local vendors they like using, they can put them into these categories, and we do not compete against them, which means if a vendor puts in their own landscaper or their attorney or their HVAC guy, we will not put in Angie's List or HomeAdvisor's competing vendors in there. The same as if, Craig, if you put in vendors, say you wanted your own home warranty company, or you wanted your HVAC or your mortgage or whatnot are in here, or a specific attorney you like using, you have the ability to put that in, and we don't compete against that. And you as the broker have the overall control of the platform, and you can actually lock those categories down, meaning no one else can put any competing information in there. So so you have the ability to add a lot of flexibility to the system of what you can do and what the individual agents can do as well. Now I'm going to take you to one more page before we jump on to what the live system is going to look like. Now remember, keep in mind, this is what it looks like right now, and then you're going to see what it's going to look like going forward.
Hey, Travis, we had a quick question. It said, so can we add our vendors and still have Angie's List too?
No. So we will not compete against your vendors. So in a specific category. So say, for example, you have a local landscaper you like using. If your agent puts in that local landscaper, it will show one landscaper and that person's recommendation there. We won't fill the rest of the screen with the other recommendations from Angie's List or HomeAdvisor. So we won't compete against you. We want to make sure that if you're recommending it, that's your recommendation, and that's who you want visible out there. Now, keep in mind,
a lot of agents are concerned about, which I don't share the fear, but making a recommendation. A lot of lawyers say, make sure you always give them 3.
Yeah. So you guys can put in up to 3. I'm just saying, when we put in the HomeAdvisor, we typically put in 3. And HomeAdvisor has to meet certain criteria, their vendors, to make it onto our platform. So for example, they have to have at least a 4.0 out of a 5 rating. And in some categories, it's 4.7 or higher. So that process, just so you know, with those trusted service providers, if the agents want to put in a singular vendor or multiple vendors, you have the ability. We're going to put in, if we populate it, the top rated ones that meet our criteria. That might be 2, it might be 7, right? So we're going to put in whatever meets the criteria. But we can't get, well, I said, our policy is we don't compete against the agents or against the broker. We want to make sure if you're putting something in, it's your recommended. Now,
right, so we want to put in 3, we can put in 3. So that
yes,
solves the problem.
Absolutely, yeah. So here's the one other thing I just wanted to talk about, the real importance about the post-move process here for your agents and for the company, and why I think you guys really want to name this Century 21, Beggins Concierge, is because of the voice services. So think about it. The statistics show that 92% of home buyers say that they would use their agent again, and 17% actually do. And after the first year, over 70% of home buyers and sellers forget their agent's name after the first year. Okay, so that's something that everyone's fighting against, to keep those current customers. Make sure your sphere of influence is engaged and knows who you are. Well, how many people do you know start their day by saying, "Hey Alexa, what's the weather like? Hey Alexa, what's the traffic like today?" Well, think about this post-transaction. They might say, "Hey Alexa, launch my Century 21 Beggins Home Concierge app." What can I help you with today? I need a painter. Okay, your agent, Craig Beggins, has recommended these 3 painters. Would you like us to contact them? So it creates that stickiness of making sure that the company name is mentioned, right? They have to launch the app by the company name. And then when they get a response, it's going to be that agent's response, it's their agent's response. Um, so that's a huge piece of keeping that touch point with the client. Now, we talked about the emails. I'm going to show you the mobile app as we go a little further into this, but the mobile app, your clients are going to have in their back pocket a completely branded white pages for every vendor they may need. All of our trusted service providers are in that app, and I'll show you that. But it's also a communication tool with your clients. So you can text back and forth, send photos, send documents to your clients on a one-on-one basis, or you can simply click radio buttons and say, I want to send this to all of my current buyers. I want to send this to all of my current sellers. Or you also have the ability, and the company has the ability to upload all of your past clients into our system. So you can invite all of your past clients into the platform, which means you can send things like, hey, we've just partnered with a concierge platform. We helped you with your move. Through our system, you can get the best pricing on internet and cable. You can get solar. You can get home security. Have you looked at the new interest rates, refinancing, possibly refinancing your current house? You can send it out to everyone, and all of your past clients are going to get access to this system. So they'll have access to the website, they'll have access to the mobile app, and this will just be something, again, that creates a point of differentiation between you and your competitors in the industry, that you're able to offer this service out to everyone. So again, those are the kind of things I wanted to point out about the current system. And now what I'd like to do is take you and show you what the new system looks like. Now, this is going to go live by the very latest June 15th, but our target date is around June 9th. So let me go ahead and show you what that looks like. So this is the new platform. Now, this is completely generic, just so you guys know. This will be in the Century 21 gold colors. So there will be the gold overall presence, and then a whole palette of colors, accent colors that work with it. So you have your gold here, your gold on the house, and then accents along with it as well. So I'm actually going to start here. This is the dashboard. So they would originally come here to the dashboard. This is where your clients are getting invited to, and they can simply get started here. It's going to confirm where they're moving from, where they're moving to, their on or about move date. So this is a clickable field. If their closing date is not accurate in the system, they can simply click and show what it actually is going to be. They can move to the next. And just keep in mind, folks, this is even though it looks like a live demo server, this is actually screenshots going in order. So it's not actually live yet. I can't click everything on here, but I'm going to show you what the actual process looks like. And sometimes it does that because of it. So let me just move there. I apologize. Sometimes this screen, because it is a demo, it doesn't do it looks like we have some chats here. So as this is kind of populating, let me just go over to the chat. Okay, can we add multiple vendors per category? Yes, you can. I imagine this is taking the place of utility helper. I apologize, that's been addressed. I'm not familiar with utility helper, but we do change people's utilities. So if that's what they do, yes, we can do that as well. So let me move here. So it is moved to the next stage. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Sometimes the guys are working on the back end and updating this. So hopefully they're not doing that right now, but it shows, your personal assistant, right? So this would be your personal assistant. It shows you a little bit about the person. You can get to know a little bit more about them. You can schedule a call with them. Hit skip again. It's going to tell you, okay, these are things you might want to start doing, right? Set up your utilities, which we just talked about. Maybe you need a storage facility, security system, change your address, car shipping, internet, TV. So all those processes well. And then it also gives you a bunch of blogs that they can look at. So if maybe it's their first apartment, maybe it's they're looking for their, down here we have the ultimate home sellers checklist, right? So things that they need to do, the whole checklist of what they need to do during their move, right? So they can access these here. And then we also show them a bunch of our different discounts and whatnot. We're one of the largest resellers for ADT home security in the country. I think we're number 2. So we get much better deals than they offer anyone else simply because of the volume we do. So I don't know if you guys I'm in New Jersey. We get ours mailed about every month, those value pack coupon books. And in there's invariably a discount card there for ADT, giving them, say, sign up with our system, you're going to get $700 to $800 worth of free equipment. We're able to give $1,700 of free equipment. So your clients get much better deals signing up through our platform than they would even if they went to a local brick and mortar ADT store themselves. So again, this is where they would start. And then I'm going to take you into the actual platform here. So this is once they get into the dashboard, they
Hey,
come over to
Travis,
the-
just so I'm clear, go back to the last page if you can.
Yep.
Now, okay, start your moving server. I know it's not live, you can't show me, but what happens there?
So basically when they click this, it would
Mhm.
take them over to the moving page right here. So they'd start their moving page right here.
Okay, but are they doing this or the concierge is doing it for them? What
So
are they?
right now, this is the online portal. So your clients have the ability to walk through every single category here online, but they also have access to talk to their dedicated concierge at any time. So they can call the concierge, schedule a call with the concierge. They can talk to them at any time during the process if they need help. It takes all types, right? So some
So
people,
an old guy like me, I'm going to say, screw it. I'm going to call my concierge, let him do
yep,
it. The
that's
millennial
exactly
says, I want to do it on my iPhone so they can do it on their iPhone.
exactly. So because
Okay.
it takes all types, we give them the voice services, we give them the mobile app, we give them the online portal, and we give them the phone center as well. Now, keep in mind also, our phone center, our call center is completely paperless, which means our call center people who are all full-time employees located in Columbus, Ohio, where our headquarters are, when they come into the office, they have to go to their locker and put their cell phones and any paper and pens in their locker. So there's no paper, there are no writing devices, no personal phones on their desk, which again, part of SOC 2 compliance, they can't record anything. They can't write anything down, which means they can't access or sell or take anything from your client data. It's all in our CRM system of what's being done. So again, another important part that makes us different than everyone else. Everyone else kind of talks about how they take your client data and send it out. We keep everything in-house. And there's one more question. How's your company get paid? That comes up every single time. I'll answer that in a couple minutes. But because it is completely free, we do get paid by some of the relationships that we have established. And that's how we're able to offer this out to free for everyone. So for example, if your client signed up with moving services or reserve self-storage or auto shipping or internet and cable or home security or solar, or our insurance platform, we are a licensed insurance broker. That's how we generate revenue. So it's not taking anything away from your clients. Your clients are going to get better pricing, better deals than they could get on their own. But that's how we receive funding through that. So if I start us back here at mortgage, Craig, this will be important for you because you're going to want to make sure that your mortgage partnership is listed here, but your logo here. Again, this image would say the way it is, but you would be able to write all this content over here. So everything over here, you'd be able to write. This would be in your gold colors. Your clients, when they're submitting this form to their loan officer or your loan officer, they can respond, hey, I want to be contacted by email or by phone. They hit the submit button, and then the entry has been submitted. Again, be your logo, your client information, your URLs here. So if you wanted to put a link here that said, for example, click here to go over to our JV site, or click here to get your pre-approval, you'd be able to do that through here as well. Now, keep in mind on our call center, when you update any of the vendors in the system, whether it's the trusted service providers or mortgage or title or anything like that, it goes into our call center. So our call center has your data in there. So when they know someone's calling about the Century 21 Beggins company, they're going to go on their backend platform. It's going to say Beggins has this specific mortgage company that is for these specific offices, and they have this mortgage company for these offices, and this is their title company. And so what our call center does is they say, hey, do you have a pre-approval already? Have you gotten an expected interest rate? Okay, we recommend for our clients to get at least 2 or 3. Can we set you up with Century 21 Beggins mortgage company? So they'll kind of guide them through the process of what makes sense. It's not a sales pitch, but they guide them through and say, same thing with insurance. They'll say, do you have an insurance quote? Okay, it makes sense to have at least 3. So can we help you procure another insurance quote through the system? So again, it's very intuitive to walk through, but you would have complete customization on this page here, including the disclaimer down here as well, Craig. And there's another question. So let me answer. Okay, it's the same question.
I think you answered it.
Yeah. So answer live. So there we go. Hopefully that's done. And then, so for example, we're also an insurance brokerage. So we are an insurance brokerage. Again, would be in your colors. They can get through the whole get started process. And again, I apologize. This is pausing like that. This is going through. Of course, it didn't do this yesterday. It's only doing it today, which is fantastic.
Gotta love live demos.
I love demos. Yeah, yeah. Well, the good thing is, like I said, this actually isn't our demo service. It's literally just screenshots moving from page to page. So this would be happen. They could basically say, hey, I live in an apartment, or use my current location. They click next. Now we're able to pull a lot of data about the house. So when we have the address of where they're moving to, there's a lot of public information out there. We're tied into all those systems. So your clients just need to confirm the home specifications that we have pulled up already. Then when they get into their personal information, they just simply put this in here, and then they request quotes. And this is going to be something that's going to be very similar for user experience that your clients can be used to. Okay, so this system thinking, right, is putting in different filters, and the system starting to think about what it is that's going to pull up for us. So it's going to pull up all the best insurance platforms that are out there, right? So where they can select these plans and purchase these plans right here, gives them other options here. Now we also have licensed insurance experts in our call center as well. So if they want to talk to an insurance expert, they can literally schedule a call and start talking to our insurance people as well. So if they want to bundle their home and their auto together, we can do that for them. When they select the plan, it's going to show them all the different things that will be on their deck page. So their deductible, their coverages, everything will be right there. And then they can just schedule a call with the concierge to finalize and place that order for the policy. But as you notice, they don't have to leave our site to do that. The same thing when it comes to moving, right? So that we have the ability to do moving, auto shipping, and self-storage. I'll walk you through those. But this is, again, what your client's going to see. It would be in your gold colors. We get started. We're confirming information about the current house, where they're moving to, right? So additional information about this, the new address. Are they a do-it-yourselfer? So they want us to send them discounts on budget truck rentals, things like that. Same thing with pods. Or are they looking for a full service move? The system starts thinking again and pulls up the top 3 rated movers in their geographical area. And for any mover to make it onto our site, they have to have at least 5 years in the business. They have to be licensed and insured. They have to have at least an A rating or better with the Better Business Bureau. If there are any reviews from Google or Yelp, they are verified and they are unfiltered and go on our site. So again, we're going to get the top 3 movers we're going to recommend for them and our highest recommendation. But then they also, these are also other movers you may want to contact, right? So there may be, 5, there may be 30 in that area. So then what they would do from here is, because we don't sell the client data, they literally have to click the company that they want to talk to get more information about their quote. They schedule that, they confirm the details, again, more moving information out here, and then they request the appointment, and it says done, thank you. You'll be, your dedicated movers will call you within 24 hours. So they're going to get a call from that company going there. And then we have an intuitive process where you see these kind of what to do next. Okay, so maybe you need to ship your car. Maybe you need to go to a storage facility. So it enables them to go and immediately walk through what they should be doing as they're on the site. Now, if we go to reserve storage facility, say, for example, it's just like if you were on like Best Buy shopping for something, where you want to put the different filters in so you're getting the best response back that you were looking for. So maybe it's a monthly cost, maybe you need 24-hour access, but you can kind of go through and it's going to pull up all these different providers that are in that area. Now, we have relationships with virtually everyone in the country, the big companies like CubeSmart and Publix and whatnot, but then they can simply click there on Tri-Valley. They'll see all the different units, all the different information, the office hours and the amenity hours, right? Everything is in here. And then they simply go through, click continue, confirm their reservation. And now they never left our site, but they have a reservation secured for Tri-Village self-storage at that location. So again, they never have to leave our portal to complete any of these tasks.
That's pretty, somebody did a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It really is. But that's the big difference between us and other companies. We built the platform and the relationships first and the technology, and we started building from there. Everyone else has kind of come out and said, hey, we can do a bunch of things, but they don't have the technology. They don't have the platform. And they utilize third parties. And that's exactly what you don't want. The last thing you want in a stressful situation is your client being bombarded day after day because someone else took their client information and sold it to 50 different movers. So 50 different movers are calling them trying to get that business. Through us, as you can see, the client has to say, I want to talk to that company. I want them to call me, and that's it. And our concierge will send you the top 3. If you do it on the phone with our concierge, like my wife and I are doing right now, we're moving and we're obviously using the platform. Our concierge sent us the top 3 rated in our area, and then we selected which ones we wanted to talk to from there. So again, real easy system. And with everything going on during, I know me personally going through this, if I could twist my screen, you'd see our dolly and boxes over here. We're moving at the end of this month. It's nice to have someone else doing this stuff for you. I don't have time with all the demos and things that I do during the course of the day, I don't have time to go out there and research the best movers in our area. I just don't have time for it. I don't have time to go through and do all these other things. I already know, hey, Mo, which is she's my concierge. She's already done my utilities. I already picked out my internet cable package. We're not doing home security, but we've also got our movers through them. We're doing our insurance through them. So it's easy to have someone else just doing all this for me. And I just get emails everyone saying, hey, this is all done. This is taken care of. You're switched over now. We've already set up, we've established this package. Your utility provider is going to be Pico in Pennsylvania. So it's nice to have someone else do all this for us. Now, again, we can do utilities for people, right? So electric, gas, trash and water. So sewer and water, we don't do that for them. We do show them how to, the client how to do it themselves. And the reason for that is states like Florida have a lot of small gated communities that have private water, have private trash. We don't have access to all of that. We do have access to all the major, basically every electric and gas company in the country, but so many of these are very specific to specific communities and whatnot that we don't have access to all of it. So you guys can help us with that during the process. If you say, hey, look, we serve an area here that has this gated community and this is the water system they use, we can then put it into our system. But we do try to have them walk through everything themselves there on those, or they can get on the phone with our concierge and we can walk them through that process. But electric and gas we can do. And I think there's more in the chat. Let me just address this. Can the platform be, well, let me start up here.
Can it be used for a rental? Yes, it's a move.
Yes, it can. So it can be used for buyer, seller, renter, and let me just get up here, sorry. All right, so good morning. Can we add over ours? Can we add ours and have this? No, not at the same time. We have multiple renters per category. Yes. I imagine this is taking the place, or we talked about that one. Is this doubling up on Business Builder monthly email? I'm not certain what Business Builder is. So Craig, is that something you can address?
Yeah. Yeah. Your business campaign is your campaign. This will be a company campaign to your customer. It'd be another in addition to what you're sending.
Okay. You mentioned
the last question is there. It seems like a great platform to offer clients who end up renting to turn them into buyers years later. Yes, because it's an automatic CRM for you. It's one more touch point.
That's exactly right. So we have actually this right now, we kind of talk about this as a concierge service, but through now and through September, our home management platform is going to be implemented into this every month. So new features will go in every month through September, where there's going to be, that's really going to turn out to be the home management platform. So there will be a renter platform in there, right? So it's just another renter piece that is going to help renters move into that home buyer status, right? So there's going to be a My Next Move tab, so they can look at that and say, hey, I'm a renter. We would know the term of the lease that they've signed. We could walk through them and show, hey, these are things to do that, build up your credit score. These are things what you need to save to get a down payment on an X kind of house you're looking for based on how much you want to put down. So it's got all this different information for movers, but the big piece for you guys, especially Craig, for you, when movers are thinking, renters are thinking about becoming buyers, one of the first things they're going to do is they're going to get a pre-approval. Now, with your mortgage company here, we're going to basically direct them to your mortgage company to get that pre-approval to see where they're able to do, and then it will be connect me with my agent, right? So it's going to keep everything in-house for you, so you can grow your mortgage business and then direct that renter into a lead to your agents as well. So it really keeps everything in-house. So you mentioned everything stays within the app with the client reaches out to your list of vendors partners. If we add our own, does it still stay in this? So no, so everything stays in the same process. It's over here in the trusted pros category, and I'll walk you guys through that. Is there any restrictions to stop a past client from using this service if they are working with another agent or from another brokerage? So you are going to have the ability to invite past clients. So if you want to invite the client, that's up to you. If they're going to, I don't think you'd want to invite them if you know they're working with another brokerage. Once they have access to this system, I don't think you can uninvite them from it. I'd have to get confirmation on that for you though. But think about this. If you give this to a past client and you're giving them all this, it's all branded, it's going to have your headshot here, right? It's going to have all your information. It really would be kind of weird for them to use another broker along with your platform, right? So it doesn't make a lot of sense, but I can confirm that with you and check that out. That hasn't been asked for, so I'm not 100% sure if you can take someone off the system once they've been put on it. We talked about the rentals. Yes, seems like a great platform to offer clients who end up renting, turn them into buyers yearly. Absolutely. So yes, this does have a big renter component to it as well. Now, internet cable is one that I kind of love going through just because I think it's a really intuitive process. Again, you're going to see on all the pages, your concierge is always at the bottom of the page, right? So always saying, if you need to talk to us, a lot of what people do with internet cable is they walk through everything and then they jump on the call at the end and say, I just have a couple questions. Can you walk me through this and that? And then our guys do it and they do that verbal yes on the phone with them. One more question before I get into this. Will we be migrating our contacts from Zap CRM system? So we are not a skill in Zap right now. So we would be able to take all of your contacts and your clients and put them into the system. There's a really easy process of just dropping your clients into a CSV file and putting it into the system, and then it populates and we'll send the address out, send the invite out to all of them. But we don't integrate with Zap at this point.
So we can manually export our data and then import it.
Correct. Yes. Yes. So if you take a look at this, you have the ability, again, this will be in your gold colors here with accents around it. So it will have a very much of a Century 21 Beggins feel to it, right? It'll be your logo here, your agent's headshot, their contact information here on every page. But your clients have the ability to say, you know what, don't walk me through the whole filtering process. Just skip this and show me all my offers. I don't know how many of you have recently changed your internet and cable, but if you're doing it on the phone, which most everyone has to do, it takes like at least an hour. It's ridiculous. I mean, you're on hold for 20 minutes and then you're being upsold and you're trying to figure out what everyone has. And you have to spend time going to Verizon and Comcast and Xfinity and Times Warner and all these different companies to find out what their packages are. Our system is going to do it all for you. So it's basically going to go through and say, you know, use my current location, right? You can edit any of this, or I live in an apartment, you can edit that, hit continue. What are you looking for? Is it internet? Is it TV? Is it phone? Or is it a bundle? They can select what they want to select by just clicking off on there. How many people are in the house, right? So this tells us how fast is the connection we're going to need here. What do you like? You know, what? So thinking about the broadband, right? What are you going to be using for it? Streaming movies. Are you doing a lot of video calls like we're doing now? Are you working from home? Do your kids play a lot of video games? What do you usually like to watch? So is it, do you like the premium channels, right? The pay for channels, the HBOs, the Stars, etc. Do you like to watch a lot of sports? Do you have kids? Do you want a lot of the, you know, Nickelodeon and things like that? Do you like films? And then they click off again. This is for the phone. And then what it's going to do, it's going to start thinking, and our system's going to start pulling together all the packages because we're in the back end systems of every internet and cable provider in the country. So basically, it's going to say, hey, this is what we reached out and what we pulled for us. These are our top recommended deals, but you can always edit your answers. So here are the top 3. Here's what you're going to get. Here are the different discounts and reward cards that are going to go back to you if you sign up with a platform, right? A lot of these are exclusive to us. But then it says these are other plans that also met your criteria. So Spectrum, Dish, Verizon, CenturyLink, Cox. And then you can always go through here and continue your filtration process. You can say, you know what, I actually want higher speeds. I only want to look at Verizon and Optimum plans. I want to be between, you know, 50 and $100 a month, and I want a 2-year contract. And then you just refilter it, and it's going to be able to show you everything you need right here. So again, you can purchase and get all these platforms right here on our site without ever having to leave. And that's one of the easiest parts about this. If they're on our call center, you can sign up with internet and cable on average between 8 and 12 minutes. That's what our call center normally does. 8 to 12 minutes gets you from start to end into a new cable and TV package. Try doing that on your own. You will be on hold more than 12 minutes. I guarantee it. So again, one of the really nice things about our system is it does all this thinking for them. Same thing with home security. We're partnered with virtually everyone in the industry so they can get everything right here. And right here on the bottom, right? Make sure you get our $1,700 worth of home security equipment, but they can simply get started. What is it that you're considering home security for, right? So what's important to you? Are you interested in a smart home system? You know, what other automated systems are important? Do you need video systems? Is it something you want the hazard sensor by your hot water heater in case it ever leaks, right? What are the things that are important to you? And again, it goes through the whole thinking process and pulls together. Here are the things that we've just are our top recommendations. So, you know, you got your Vivint, your ADTs, your Simply Safes, but then they can scroll down. Maybe Ring is the best option for you, and it gives you all the options that you have there. So you can literally do anything you want with this system. We're partnered with everyone, and it's easy to go through this and actually access everything. So you don't have to go to Vivint's site and then Simply site, Safe site, and then ADT's site, and then go to, you know, Brink's home security site. You can find it all right here in a matter of a couple clicks. So I'm I'm going to go through a couple more. Now, there are other tabs that are up here. So Craig, this is a work in progress. If you tried reading some of these things, it's not edited. It's just screenshots right now. This isn't a fully finished product. But you'll see things up here like mortgage. And then for you, because you have a title company, we wouldn't have title here in the more. We could put mortgage, title, insurance. If you have home warranty partner, we could put home warranty up here. So we have the ability to add a lot more. I also don't have solar up in here, right? So solar, I imagine, was probably big in Florida. We're partnered with the 3 largest solar companies in the country. So Sunrun, Titan, and Sun Power. So we have great packages there for your clients as well. But if you want to do your driver's license, right? So driver's license, we show you link to your nearest DMV, what you're going to need to bring, what it's going to cost you. So these are the things you need to bring, what's going to cost, and do you want to download any information before you go there so you can fill out any forms before you go there. Same thing with vehicle registration. What are you going to need to bring? Where's your local DMV? How much is it going to cost you? And do you want to download any forms before you go there? So nice and easy. And then when we get to things like the trusted service providers, now on the old page, you saw it was kind of like 4 bricks across and scroll down like 30 or 40 different rows. Here, what we're going to do with the trusted service providers is we've broken it down to categories. So they don't have to search through 150 different categories. They can just put a search in here and say, type in HVAC if they wanted to, or break down certain different categories. Now, here's the other cool thing about this. Normally at the bottom, you usually see your dedicated personal assistant. Here it says you can access any of the vendors at any time by downloading your favorite device. So it shows you the voice devices here, how to hook up your Amazon Alexa and your Google Home. And then also here's where the link to go to the Google and Apple store to download the mobile app. And you're going to have a custom mobile app, Craig. So it's going to say Century 21 Beggins Concierge. That's going to be what they're going to download, what it's going to look like on the screen. But they can kind of go through this. And again, if I click on one of these things, it's not fully edited. So, but it would break down the different categories under maintenance. Obviously, not everything here. Flores certainly isn't under maintenance. But this is just to show you what the new site is going to look like. So they're going to have access to all of these things here. Hope you guys like what you're seeing right now. This is, what we've been working on. Here's the moving checklist, right? So these are things that they can go through and say, what's, overdue, what's completed, what am I supposed to be doing just between this week, right? And they would be able to scroll from week to week of what they need to do. And then they also have the ability to kind of look at this as a monthly calendar and say, okay, during my move, this is the week that I need to get my moving quotes. And I need to decide on how we're going to move. So it shows them all the different things that they're going to want to see here as far as what they need to do during the process of their move. So keeps the client up to pace with what they need. So they're not waiting to that final week and they're like, oh my God, we have so much to do because we didn't pay attention to everything we need to do during the time moving, coming up to our move. So with that said, I'm certainly open to taking questions. But in the meantime, it shows like one question. I'm going to also mirror my screen and I'm going to show you what the mobile app looks like. So just give me 1 second here to mirror my screen. And what I'm going to show you again is a generic, it's a generic app. It doesn't have current projects in it, but it's just to show you what yours would basically look like. So this is the generic app, MoveEasy. Yours would say, a C21 logo, right? So it would say C21 Beggins. If I click on this, you're not going to see the MoveEasy name anywhere. Obviously, your brokerage would be here. This would be in gold colors. But the first thing to create that stickiness between you and your agent, this is what your clients have in their back pocket forever, right? They always have a smartphone. Right down here in that corner, my agent. There you are. It's going to be hard for someone to forget you after the first year when your picture is on their phone every time they access this. Here's your information. Again, you wouldn't say MoveEasy. Here would be your logo, Craig. But you're a one-button call, email, text. And here's the other really cool thing I think is a really cool piece. I hope you guys too. That's the share button, right? So say Craig and I are very good friends, and I'm telling Craig about how great Jane Smith was. She got me the best price on my house. I had this fantastic app that got all this stuff for me. I was able to get, my movers, everything done. And Craig says, we're thinking about moving too. Can you share your agent's name with me? All you have to do here is click that share button, right? And now I can drop it with Craig. I can text it to him. I can airdrop. I can mail it to him. Any of the ways I can do these things here. But if you read that right now, you've been invited into Jane Smith's Concierge app. So when I'm sharing it with Craig, I'm not sending him just a screenshot of Jane's information. I am literally giving Craig, who is not Jane's client, this app. So I, Jane's client, and building her sphere of influence for her by inviting my friends and giving them the branded Century 21 Beggins app for that particular agent. So I'm building your network for you. And it's with that, with anything. So say you go under all the trusted service providers are right here, right? So everything that you put in, or if you don't put anything in, say you need a, you know, a fencing contractor. If your vendors were being here, they'd be all listed right here. If there is no vendors in here, they simply put request vendors, and that's where we're going to pull from Home Advisor, right? So right there, they have access to everything. But this is what it would look like if they click carpet cleaners here, what it would look like with multiple vendors in here. Okay, so these are the different vendors. Again, one button away from texting, one button away from calling, one button away from sharing. And when I share it, I'm sharing the app. Anytime I do any sharing, I'm actually sharing the app with that other person. Now, if it's Craig multiple times, it's not gonna send him the app multiple times. It's smart enough to know it's gonna send it to him one time and that's it. But you have access to all these things here. I'm gonna show you one more thing or two more things. This is the texting part of it, right? So you can kind of go in here and say, hey, you know, it's tax time. Don't forget your 1098 forms when you're going to your tax attorney. Simple things that you can send out to your clients that aren't salesy. It's keeping you up to, you know, in mind with them, but you can do everything. You could go and say, you know, hey, I've been down to Florida a couple times recently, just to kind of get away in the last couple months. And you guys have things open. Say, hey, you know what? Now that COVID's kind of going away, this great new restaurant opened up downtown. You guys got to check it out. You could take a picture of your food. You know, a lot of people love to do that stuff now, but send it out to everyone. Say, hey, I'm the local expert here. This is a fantastic new restaurant. You guys got to check it out. You're keeping in touch with your clients, but you're not asking for referrals. You're not saying this is what I just listed, just sold. You're basically able to go in there and say, hey, I'm just a social contact just to make sure you remember who I am, right? Now I'm going to show you one more thing. I see there's a couple comments up here. I'm going to get to them in just a second. Now, everyone takes their own thing away from what they like about the system. I'll tell you one of the things that I like about it, right? So I like a bunch about it, but if you see here, there's the current projects and past projects, okay? So if I go to current projects, it's right on the home page. I don't have any current projects in here because it's a demo app. But when my wife and I bought our first property, we got a great deal on it because it was literally like the eyesore of the block. It just needed so much work. And when we got married, we didn't move in for the first 3 months. We had contractors and they're really doing everything. It was an old Cape up here in Jersey. Well, 3 years later, we decided to redo the backyards. We put a patio in. We ended up putting a hot tub in. Now, when you do a hot tub, you have to run electrical and whatnot to it, and it's very specific how deep down you have to dig. It's 18 inches in New Jersey for the wiring to be down there. But our electrician that did the house the first time was amazing. He did just phenomenal work. Changed our amp system out from 100 to 200, changed all the outlets in the house because it was like old cloth covered outlets. 3 years later, I couldn't find that guy's contact information anywhere, right? I couldn't find his business card. I couldn't find the receipt that he'd charge us. But if I had had this app, after 60 days, all of my current projects fall into past projects. So I have a whole inventory of everybody that I've worked with. So if I like working with that electrician, his contact information, everything would have been right here on my site. Now, I'll save you the horror story of what happened with the electrician that I actually did use, but let's just say I failed inspection twice, and it was just an absolute nightmare. It was a recommendation from a friend in the neighborhood, and it just did not go well. But if I had this app, that guy, his contact information would have been right there in past projects, would have saved me an absolute nightmare. So for me, like I said, that's some stuff that's important to me. You know, everyone takes away their own thing, but I wanted to show you what that app looks like. Now, keep in mind, this is what the client sees, right? So this is the client end of the app. Your app is going to be a little bit different because it's going to give the ability when you're under those notifications of who you want to talk to, all of my current buyers, all of my current sellers, an individual client, or all my past clients. So with that being said, let me jump to some of these questions that I see on here.
It's real simple. Is this for buyers and or sellers? It's for both.
Yes, it is.
So your seller could be selling in Tampa and moving to New Orleans.
Yep, and everything in here is geographically based. So our system is going to pick up where they're moving to, right, based on the zip code. So when you think about it, those trusted service providers, the fact that we have that relationship with Home Advisor, you may be in Florida and you know your trusted service providers there, and they move to Oklahoma. Well, when they move to Oklahoma, the system is going to populate with everything located in Oklahoma. So it's still going to look like, even though they're using your app, they're going to have all the vendors of everything they need in the new state that they're moving to. So it really does address everything, right? Because it's geographically based. and our relationships are national. So we can go anywhere.
And the last
Is
one
there,
was, is there any marketing material they can use to entice a customer to do business with us?
yeah,
Because of the system?
so because we're developing this whole new platform, right? It's going live in the next couple of days or in the next week or whatnot. We are developing an entirely new marketing platform for it. So we'll have all that new marketing material out by the end of this month. So by June 30th, we'll have all the new marketing material out there. Okay. And then there was a couple up here, it looks like, in chat. See if there's more here.
There's a lot of
Thank you
people
very
saying,
much.
thank you, amazing product. Makes us
Yeah.
more of a one-stop shop now more than ever.
Yep.
Ties perfectly into our reload department.
Yeah, people are using this for relocation as well, because you kind of get access to the client before they're really even doing anything, right? So this is one of the first things that they're going to start seeing is that the relocation. So that is something a lot of companies are putting this into their relocation department. You're very,
Wow.
oh, thank you, Angelique, appreciate it. Look, I really hope you guys like this. The biggest thing is we're going to do a lot of training for you guys. Okay. So we have a whole onboarding team that does training. They're going to create the marketing material for you. They're going to create custom videos for you guys. They're going to do everything. Now, I know we didn't have your whole company here. I think we got 70 plus, which is fantastic. It's a great outing. This is recorded, so you can send this out to everyone, but we do training ongoing. So we'll do training for the next 90 days if you want us to. We'll do multiple trainings. You're going to have a customer success person, so you're going to have people to talk to. Our onboarding team is going to send all of your agents their login information, but it's super important for you guys. Your portal, okay, for the agents, it doesn't look like this. This is the front-facing portal. This is what your clients see because they're moving. Your portal is on the back end, and it shows you the ability. You can look at analytics. How many emails were sent? How many were opened? What are people doing? How do I invite a buyer right now? How do I invite a seller right now? How do I add a vendor? You have access to all of that things. Now, you can always invite yourself into the platform in the back end by just saying, hey, I'm a buyer or I'm a seller, and you put in your contact information, your email, click send, and you're going to get an invite to see the front end portion of this. But your primary part is that back end portal. You want to be able to see what people are doing. You want to have the ability to invite clients. You want to have the ability to input your vendors. Because you're not moving, you're not going to see this front part unless you invite yourself into the system. So just understand that you're as an agent, your platform is a little different than this. And Craig, you as the broker owner of the company, you're going to see everything. Your backend portal gives you access to view all of your different offices, all of your agents, all the vendors that are on there. You're going to have analytics, for days on everything that's happening. But our onboarding team is going to teach all of your agents how to do everything on the back end. And it's super simple, guys. Like if you're sitting at a dining room table with someone trying to win a listing and you tell them you're going to give them a personal concierge and they don't believe you, you can literally pull out your laptop or pull out your iPad. You can go right onto the platform. You can put in their name, their address, their email, and their phone number, click send, and within a minute, they're going to get the invite, and they can actually be a client in our system before you've even signed them up. If you want to add a vendor, it couldn't be simpler. It's 7 steps. What's the vendor's name? There's a drop-down category for our trusted service provider categories, right? So it'll give you all the categories we have. You just click the one you want to put it in. What's the website? What's the email address? What's the contact person's name? What's their phone number? You have the ability to browse, you hit browse on your computer and upload their logo, hit send. And then once you do that, within 5 minutes, that vendor goes on the online portal, goes onto the mobile app, goes into the call center, and goes onto the voice services within about 5 minutes. So
That's incredible.
You can put people on immediately. You don't need to be tech savvy to do this. It's literally, if you can type in someone's name and email address, you can access and do the system. So so that's it. Look, we're super excited to have you guys back on board, especially with the new product. You're literally one of the first 5 companies that have been seeing this platform. So we'll be live by June 15th. My recommendation is start planning the meetings with Kathy, right? So Kathy's going to be assigned to your company. It's either going to be her or Katie. They're both fantastic, but they're going to walk you guys through everything. Make sure there's no barriers. Make sure our emails don't go into any spam folders. They'll do everything with you. Craig, they're going to do your mortgage. They're going to put your title in here. You're going to give them their logo. So we'll build that for you. So this is completely customized for you. If you have things you want to write in here, just tell us what you want to put in, and we'll put in your writing here. But yeah, it's we're excited. I think this is an amazing system. It's really, for me, I'm using it right now. It has saved me a ton of time because, you know, look, we're all swamped during the day. We all have things we need to do. And this gives me the ability to, like, 10 o'clock at night, I go in and I'm like, okay, I've done everything I need to do today. I've watched some TV. I just want to relax, you know, just check out some of the different things in here. I can go on, I can look at any of these different categories and say, you know, hey, hun, do we want to get, you know, home security? Like, these are the deals we have here. But we can look at all this stuff whenever we feel like it, right? We're not under pressure by fielding calls all day. We can look at this stuff when it's appropriate for us, when we feel like doing it. Um, and that's it. So
That's awesome.
one other thing I want to show you guys. These are the old ones. Your emails will not look like this. Your emails will be using this kind of artwork and imagery and whatnot. But this is what happens, right? Um, so this is the email that's going to go out to the agent, right? It's going to say, this will all be edited and the images won't be here. But it's going to say, hey, congratulations on your transaction with Travis Bailey. We're getting ready to invite them into the Century 21 Beggins concierge platform to help them with all their moving and home management needs. This is to the agent. You don't have to do anything. Just simply let your client know to expect an invitation in the next 48 hours. Your client's dedicated concierge is going to be Susan Wilson. That's her. That's what she looks like. If you want to disable your client invite, big button right there. You can't miss it, right? Just disable it right there. And here are the things that your client's going to get. Dedicated personal assistant, best deals on everything they're going to need. All of our trusted service providers. They're going to have access to the voice and mobile apps. And by the way, here's where you don't download the C21 Beggins app, right here on either one of those stores. Couldn't be easier. And then what happens is we send an email out to the agent. I mean, to the client. So it goes to the client. This is going to look like it's come from your email address. So we're going to mask the email address. It's going to have your agent headshot, your logo here, Craig. And again, it's going to say, basically, you can rewrite any of this. The long and short is, hey, we're going to help you tackle all those moving and home management things you need to do. Here's what you do to get started. Click here. It's going to take you right to the site right here. This is your dedicated concierge. She's going to reach out to you within the next 24 to 48 hours to introduce herself. Couldn't be much easier. Here's all the things you're going to get. Here's how to download the app. But the new emails are just going to be looking like this. They're going to have these kind of images, going to be a lot nicer looking, but everything's in there. So again, we make sure that you're aware of what we're doing, you know about the product, and then we invite your agent, we invite your client, and they have access to everything. So let's see. I see one more chat. What do we got here? We need a hands-on laptops open.
So when Kathy
yeah.
or Katie does the training, we can do it, have our laptops out.
I think they're saying if they're doing something in person, like meeting with a customer in person, you would need a laptop or, you know, something like that in person to invite them right there. So yeah, the answer to that is yes. Assuming I'm reading this question correctly, that if you're meeting with a client, you want to invite them right on scene, you would need a laptop to get into your back-end portal to invite them in right there on site.
Okay.
Training for agents.
Oh, he's saying training for agents. So when Katie or Kathy's doing the training, can we have our laptops and she'll walk us step by step?
Yeah, they can do that, and you know, they'll do what I'm doing now, as far as they'll have everything on the screen and they'll just show you how to access and do everything. I have to check with Kathy to see, because you guys are already on board, we probably have I'm pretty sure we have the ability to by the time she does the training for you and schedules the training, we can send all the login information to all of your agents. So all of your agents will have their login information. And then that way on the training, they can sit there and they can actually walk through the process with her. So yes, that is correct. You can do that. Because
we probably hired over 100 agents since we onboarded with you in the first time.
Yeah.
So
because we have your roster integration, we just got to make sure that that's all up to all still tied together. Then we could just send it out to everyone. We'll just grab your roster information again, and then we'll just send email invites out to everyone saying, here's your login information for the system. So Craig, I'm going to ask Kathy to either Kathy or Katie is going to do your company, because they handle all of our big companies. So I'm going to ask one of them to reach out to you to get a good time to schedule your next trainings, right? So what we can do with your agents. So, but yeah, we're excited. And I have seen you guys have grown a lot, definitely over 100. Last time we had you on board, you were at 411. Now you're up to like 530 agents, something like that. So congratulations, you're killing it. That's awesome.
We just trade them out.
Well, we're excited. Oh, another thing. This platform, you talked about trading out, right? if agents leave your platform, they can't take the clients with them because the clients are in the system based off their email address. So nobody leaves C21 Beggins because you can't take our platform with you. Okay, so that's another big thing. This is only something that's going to be available if you have your agents, your clients' email information put in the system. They are tied to C21 Beggins and they're in the system for that. So, and that's important because you want to make sure that they're getting everything that's updated through the company as well as what you're putting in there individually. So, all right.
Cool.
I will, Angelique, I will. I'll make sure that you're on that email as well. So I'll do Kathy and Katie, introduce them to both you guys again, and then we'll get you guys up and running. You just tell us when the best time is to meet, and our team will start doing that for you. So,
but ideally, you're fully functional on June 15th, which is only less than 2 weeks away.
Yeah, we're targeting June 9th. Our lead developer had a medical emergency, put him behind about 3 or 4 days. So June 15th, without a doubt. All the new marketing material will be done and live by June 30th. But yeah, everything's gonna be done. Thank you, Pamela. Appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely, Mike. Without a doubt. This is something that's creates a point of differentiation. I mean, when you're going up against those other companies, you know, you're competing for a listing. You're going to be the only one that's going to go in and say, I'm going to give you a personal assistant right off the bat. Personal assistant, you're going to have this, and they're going to take care of every need you may have. Now, contact me for anything you want. But if you need help with moving, insurance, mortgage, you know, home warranties, utilities, internet, cable, home security, solar, I got a person that's going to take care of it for you all the way through. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it. Craig, Angelique, thank you so much for allowing me the time to get on your call today and talk with your team. I really enjoyed it. And looks like there's a couple more coming in. It looks like these are wrapping up questions. So again, thanks. I'm going to have our team reach out to you today. And if there's nothing else,
I just want to close talking about the brand again, because I think it's important. Century 21 is doing this for us because their vision is to take the real estate experience from transactional to experiential, right? So we're trying to solve their pain points to differentiate Century 21 from our competitors at Coldwell Banker and Better Homes and Gardens, et cetera. Absolutely. So I just want to call out kudos to the management team for doing what they're doing, because it's creative and it's going to make a difference and just help keep us relevant. So once again, you got us in your corner, you got Century 21 in your corner. Now we got MoveEasy in our corner. It's an unbeatable team. So Travis, great presentation. You got a lot of interaction and feedback. Thank you. So it worked very well.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Angelique, Craig, I'll send you an email later today.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. Bye, everybody.